First thing, my eyes are just gonna water during this video because I did not put the glasses on, so I have nothing protecting my eyes. So yeah, that's just how it's gonna go down. Anyways, happy Friday. I have my recent reads for September. I usually try and rate them from bottom to top, the bottom being the ones that I did not enjoy as much. This time, it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to do that because they were so close. I couldn't really decide which one I liked the most. So let's start with number 1, which is actually the bottom. What I have at the bottom of my list is Fire Shut Up in My Bones. This won the Best Title Award, in my opinion, and this is why I picked it up. It's sort of a church thing. I'm a preacher's kid, so I remember my grandma singing this song in church. Just like, you know, I won't sing it for you guys. So I was really excited to read this memoir. He calls it a betrayal. He is betrayed by one of, or 2 of his family members that he really trusted. So this book is separated by before the betrayal and after the betrayal. Unfortunately for me, it wasn't entertaining enough. My problem with this was he gave so many details that were useless. Introducing people that had nothing to do with this story. If it's not gonna make this story better, it shouldn't be in the story. What he went through is something that needs to be told, so I'm glad he did it. I just don't feel he needed a book to tell that story. Like maybe he could have did it at like a high school or something, seminar. My favorite part was how he tied the title in to the end of his story. But yeah, Fire Shut Up in My Bones. Elin Harris, Not a Day Goes By. This one right here gets the Waiting to Exhale award for me. Now the couple in this story, they both had a past of slutivity, and they decide they're gonna get together and be in a faithful relationship, you know, for a change because they really loved each other, which I really actually do believe they loved each other. But typical things come up. Your past comes up, lies, jealousy, all that crazy stuff. The reason that I like this story is because it was somewhat realistic, but it was a real quick, easy, fun read. And this is actually part of a series, so I'm excited to read the next one, which is Anyway the Wind Blows, so I'm on it. So next up I have Sing, Unbury, Sing. This one I thought would be higher up, but it was so sad that I like to smile sometimes in a book. I'm going to give this book the POV award because I really like how they separated the chapters by who was speaking. This young boy growing up, one parent on drugs, one parent in jail, and being raised basically by his grandparents, and has to take care of his little sister like he's the father. Understanding what the animals are supposed to represent was a little harder for me, so I had to read it a couple of times. The whole ghost part kind of threw me off, but at the same time it made sense. It was a good ending, but it was still sad. Sing, Unbury, Sing. Americana. This book will get the Black Award. Black in America, Black in London, Black in Africa. I was traveling. I dug that. My favorite part about this was all her blogs. It has so much good information. I enjoyed hearing the experiences of her different relationships. I like that she dated all types of different guys. I like the whole vibe of the beauty shop. I really like to do hair actually, so hearing just some specific things that I could relate to, I knew what they're talking about. It was fun. One part, well there's a lot of parts, but one part that really stood out to me was at the very end when Kurt asked her about her blogs and does she still write black-based blogs about being black, and she answered, no, I just write about life. She said once she got off the plane in Lagos, she felt like she stopped being black. Once you get off the plane in America, you black. I don't know why it took me so long to actually start reading this book, but it's dope. I read Long Shot on my Kindle. When I first saw the Long Shot cover, it was no way I thought I was gonna read this book. And I didn't think it had anything to do with any type of culture. I didn't know who Kennedy Ryan was or anything about it. But Long Shot, it definitely got the Shock Value Award. The reason it got the Shock Value Award because I had no idea what was coming. And it was all exciting to me. And every page was something new and unexpected. I knew it was about a basketball player, which I'm in a sport, so that was gonna work for me. I figured sports and booty, boom, right? But it wasn't that. It was, well, it was that, but it was a mix. It's about 2 guys who both like the same woman. Well, one loves the woman, one I don't really know how he feels. And sometimes I think that he really does love her, and then other times I'm like, oh, he hates that girl. So they're fighting over this girl, and also they play against each other in basketball games. So that mix adds a lot of fire, and it gets intense. That was a good book. Thank you, Steph. Yeah, Speak No Evil. It's about two friends, teenagers. They go to school together and they run track together. Everybody thought they would be a couple because they always together. The girl actually tried to get at the dude, and he explained to her why this wouldn't work. So now that his friend knows that she's not the one for him, she decides that she wants to hook him up or help him start dating. So she gets his phone and she signs him up for like these Tinder apps or whatever the dating type things are. And he was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But then, of course, curiosity got him. He ends up going through it, and he meets up with one of the people that he meets off of there. He leaves his phone at home one time, and his dad finds it, and his dad gets all pissed off, and he's like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And he sends him back to Africa to go through some kind of cleansing type thing to get out of his American driven ways. So blah blah blah, he gets back to America and he tells his friend, I actually did end up meeting up with one of those people, and they go to this bar to go meet up with this person. A bunch of drama happens, boom boom boom, this happened, boom boom boom. So I didn't want to tell you what really happened, but it was really an emotional roller coaster for me because it was sad. It had a lot of funny parts. I was very angry towards the end of this book and disappointed and hurt. So this is the emotional roller coaster. The ending of this book. Yeah, Speak No Evil. Last but not least, The Sellout. I picked this book up and put it down more times than I can count. Finally, I was like, do it. And now I can tell you, this definitely got my LOL award. I laughed through this whole book from the beginning to the end, and it was refreshing because I've been going through so many sad, sort of serious books, and it's almost like this was supposed to be serious, maybe, kind of, sort of. The main person in this book was abused as a child. His dad did all types of experiments on him, and one of the experiments that stands out in my mind was the bystander experiment. He took his young boy out there in the middle of the street and started beating him up just to see what people would do, okay? Just to show him this lesson, like, you see what people will do? I'm beating you up and they won't help. And he did a lot of experiments on his kid like that. This book is everywhere. He seemed to be normal when he talked about the girl he liked. That's the only time in this whole book he didn't seem like he was a little lost in the head. I don't really know how I feel about the Too Many Mexicans section or part. However, the one girl who found out that she was Mexican in this book, that was a funny part. That someone had to like, aren't you Mexican? She's like, damn, I am Mexican. This probably is a book that I will never be able to fully explain, but it is definitely worth the read. Alright, so those are my recent reads. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for commenting. I appreciate y'all.